Oh, whoa. I did not adjust this camera at all. Oops. My bad. Didn't even think about that. Why is there like an electrical sound in my ear? I don't think anybody else can hear it, so it's kind of annoying. There's that. Then probably need to turn that down. And I think we're good now. That's better. Okay, that's better. Now I need the music. Put this over here. The non-copyright music. All right, and then bring this up. All right, and now we'll let the Discord know, and then we'll call our client and begin. I don't really need any of this either. RuneScape, move that. What? There we go. Good morning. Is it that early? I've been waking up so much earlier nowadays. Doesn't really feel like morning. All right, let us call. I wish I could turn this down even more. Like, I wonder what this would sound like if I turn it all the way up. Jesus. All right. Oh, hello?
Hello.
I didn't see you there. There we go. Let me bring it up. So, what we'll do... Have you watched the other sessions? Do you know how the sessions go, basically?
Somewhat. I watched, I think, 2 of them.
Okay.
Like, not like... I wouldn't say I watched like the whole thing. I kind of skipped around a bit just to kind of see what your style was and how you started things off and that sort of good stuff. So.
Gotcha. So we'll start and we'll just look at op.gg. We'll talk for a bit. Just a couple questions. What, the op.gg?
Yeah, I looked at it this morning. I was like, oh fuck.
Oh, it's not that bad. We just look at like what you're building, the runes, the stuff like that, and just whatever. Talk about goals, and then we'll go into my Discord because it's a boosted Discord, so we'll get better quality for the when you stream. And then we'll do we'll have you play a game. We'll do a live game, and then we'll go back and we'll review that game. So basically, I'm just like a voice behind you, a little bit of guidance, or like questioning your thought process during the live game itself, and then we go into the VOD, and that's where we'll get like more detailed, basically. And obviously, if we go into a game and the game is just like a lost game at like 10 minutes or like whatever, we can, you know, we got insurance on that, so we'll make sure that we play a good game that we can actually review. You know what I mean? So first and foremost, let's write this down. Well, actually, I don't really. What is your peak?
So silver 2 last season. And that was mostly playing like Shen and Gangplank.
What
And
are...
I stopped playing after like I hit silver because I had some other things going on with like transitioning out of the military and
Okay,
moving from Texas and stuff like that. So
gotcha. I'm gonna look and see. I want to see what your gains and losses are right now. 25, 27, 26. We're pretty much even, yeah?
yeah,
For the most
for
part.
the most part, it's pretty even. There's some question. I think the worst one I had was like a negative 27, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I know you're highlighting the name. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about like the new like LP system because it's kind of
I don't know. I don't really... Yeah, I don't really like it. But then again, like, I mean...
I'm not a high enough rank to even really care about it that much. Mostly just worried about improving on things, so...
For sure. Gains, losses... And then, what is your season 13 goal? Like, what would your end goal be for the season? Like, what rank do you want to end up being by the end of season 13?
I would like to get into gold because I think I can do it just based on if I play smart enough. Because there's definitely times where if I'm having like really good games, I'll go into one with an ego, and then I'll get that checked really quickly and kind of lose the motivation for it. So
Yeah. How many games do you pull off in a season?
I mean, it kind of varies, I guess. Like this season, I should be able to pull off quite a few.
Yeah.
Just with like my work schedule. And because I work third shift, so I kind of come home and then I have from when I wake up until I go back to work to pretty much, do whatever I want. So.
Gotcha. Let's see. Well, I think that... Actually, let me just look at this. So we're going... grasp sorcery. What are you building? Sorcery. I don't like sorcery.
For the most part, I'm usually going with Triforce. Because I know how you feel about Stridebreaker, and I don't think I have the games on Fiora yet to justify going Stridebreaker.
Gotcha. Have you tried like going into a practice tool and using the whip active and like playing with it and seeing if you're comfortable with it or not?
I was actually just doing that before you had called me because I went back and I was looking at what was it? I think it was your season 13 or 1310 Fiora build guide.
Yeah.
And knowing that I can like proc multiple vitals now with the whip, so if I decide to side lane with Hullbreaker, if they send more than one person, if I get lucky, then I can proc 2 vitals for the healing off of that in the side lane. So
do you like to split push more?
I think especially like in bronze, it's a better strategy than going into a team fight because I feel like a lot of team fights are kind of they're kind of coin flip.
Yeah.
Unless our jungler is, pretty intelligent and they know, like, okay, bot has like if bot's playing like Thresh Draven versus like Jinx Sona, then they can get early drags. I can, kind of TP in for that if it's past that 10-minute mark.
Yeah.
So.
Let's see. The only thing that I would say is just this: I just wouldn't go Scorch and Mana Flow ban. No, I mean if you want to play Grasp, you can. But I just think Scorch and Mana Flow is just like kind of... I mean, you just don't need it.
I had downloaded, what was it, like Mobalytics, I think, and for some reason they were auto-importing runes in for me.
Okay, because I can tell that they are too, because you're using Second Wind into like Alawi, which doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like that just doesn't help you.
At first, so.
Gotcha.
but I disabled the auto import because I know it's going to be beneficial in the long run if I'm able to build like my own rune pages on the fly based on what I see. So
yeah. So did you just recently do that? Because even 2 days ago, you have a game where you have second wind into Cho'Gath, which
yeah, that was
okay.
Like Sunday. I think I went in. And I did that. I didn't play any games yesterday. I was playing Street Fighter all day.
Gotcha. No, I just see, when you see second wind and we're talking about a melee matchup, it just doesn't, they just don't go hand in hand together. So I was making sure, because that's going to give you a little bit of a disadvantage as well. So it looks like you've kind of just been like letting that thing take over for you. Let's see. I bet we presence of mind. Yeah. Okay. We definitely gotta start. Is this auto import? You have, okay. Was it telling you to take presence of mind tenacity instead of alacrity, or did you click tenacity?
For which game is that?
It's against Garen. It's your second to last, third game after the remake.
I think I might have done that one.
You don't?
I don't remember if I put that one in.
Don't.
If I did like the off meta. Because I saw one where they were, because I know Mobalytics still recommends like Divine, but they have like an option to import for like what is it? Oh shit, I'm forgetting now. For Triforce, and I think they recommended like Presence of Mind and Tenacity for that.
Presence of Mind is fine. Presence of Mind is really good, but Tenacity's there's no point. So when you Tenacity, the way that Tenacity works, it doesn't stack like that. It's like multiplicative, like where, so like the same way that cooldown reduction works. Like if I have 40 ability haste, I don't have 40 CDR, right?
Yeah.
So like you're going Tenacity and taking Unflinching, so it's just like there's no point. Unflinching is what you take so that you're allowed to take Alacrity every time, so you can maximize damage output as well. But enough of the boring talk. Let's move into the Discord and let's get you into a live game, huh?
Sounds good to me.
But we will want to, let's see. Duo channel, where you at? Yeah, if you want, the coaching is through Discord, guys. Obviously, when I'm in my session, client's gonna get attention. I can hang out for a little bit after the session and talk to chat for a little bit. But for now, the client gets full attention. So, but if you want more details, you just go to the coaching tab in the Discord and check the pinned tweets. There's 2 packages and go from there. Just shoot me a DM if you're interested. Will you share your screen for me?
Yes.
Yeah, we just want to make sure that we're getting the runes right. That's like a pretty big deal. It doesn't seem like too much, but it's like it's pretty darn important when you're in a ranked game and like you're playing a snowball champion like Fiora. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then for these last 3, like, I'm assuming you'd probably never go like coup de grace or anything like that. Or you wouldn't go cut down, I'm assuming.
Nah.
It'd be more like coup de grace or last stand.
Yep. Last stand, like, okay. So think about with last stand, this is why you kind of want to like hold your parry, because when you get low, you kind of parry, slow their attack speed, their movement speed 50%, or you get the stun, and then you maximize damage output when you're lower HP, right?
Okay.
So that's where like that parry discipline comes into play. But
yeah.
So if we're looking at rune pages real quick. So obviously Conquer that you have right there, Conquer, Presence of Mind is always the best because Fiora has mana issues. Alacrity is going to be like your 95 percentile. The only time you're ever going to take Tenacity is if it's like Fiddlesticks with Lysandra and a Nautilus top and like, you know what I mean?
Just like heavy CC.
Yeah, if it's just out of this world. And then you've got Last Stand as well. There's just no real reason to run anything else. Last Stand just does the job for you. In Sorcery Rune Page, the only time I would ever take this is into like the really heavy AP top. Like if it's like Rumble top and then like Nidalee Jungle, then you can run Nully Orb and then take Transcendence or Gathering Storm. But another reason, by the way, why you're always taking Alacrity is so that you can run double adaptive and go for those really heavy level 2, level 3 all-ins, right?
Okay.
So in this rune page, there's actually a lot of things that are viable here, and it's like one of the reasons that Grasp works so well. Demolish is great. Conditioning's really good if you are going into a Kale, a Scion, a Cho'Gath, an Ornn, like anything that's just super free, right? Because then you just scale for free. Second win, you'll always take it into ranged enemies because you match that with Doran's Shield, and then you just basically double the healing. Also, you can get away with going Doran's Shield and second win into Darius. Like, the healing that you get is almost like so much that it negates his bleed damage entirely, which is just like a cool little thing to have. Bone plating, obviously, into those laners that are going to be trading heavy melee with you. So, you know, that's your Jaxes, your Rivens, your Camille's, all them. Overgrowth is another scaling one, but I just don't think you need it. I just think unflinching is always best because of how slippery Fiora always is. You just want to be able to be even like more slippery, be impossible to kill, right? Okay. And then inspiration is kind of like either you're entirely afraid of your opponent and you're going grasp inspiration, or you are just disrespecting them and you're going conquer inspiration, and you're saying that I'm just going to win this lane no matter what, and you just take boots. And you can go boots and biscuits if you're taking teleport, but if you're going ignite, you'll take the insight, the eyeball in the bottom left, because it'll just give you ignite on a low cooldown. And so if somebody's trying to time your ignite, they won't know. They'll be like, oh, he's got ignite in 20 seconds. It's like, psych, you have ignite right now. Go all in. So that's kind of the runes for Fiora, essentially. Obviously, the most common are going to be these two. So we would take Conquer, Presence of Mind, Alacrity, Last Stand, Bone Plating, and Unflinching. Okay. Which is going to be the most common. And we'll run it. Let's do this. How's your day going so far, sir?
It's not bad. I had my daughter's like pre-K graduation, so she's sitting on the couch watching. I don't even fucking know anymore. Like, just watching whatever's on Netflix, I guess.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. We actually had I was bartending last night, and then we had a bunch of people show up because apparently all their like high school graduations were going on, so a bunch of families came in to like eat. So the bar wasn't that busy, but like I was making a lot of drinks for like tables, but it was 30 minutes until we closed, and yet we were somehow on a 40-minute wait. So yeah, and you know, that's just, the owners want to make money, so we had to stay 2 hours after close that day, which was yesterday, so that was nice. So I didn't get home until like 1 in the morning or 2 in the morning. So that kind of sucked, but it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah, so it's always nice getting a good paycheck, so.
Yeah, I agree.
And then, I mean, so this week, I'll be working today and tomorrow, and then I got like 8 or 9 days of vacation, so.
Dang, you should be doing the Diablo race with that much time off.
Honestly, I was thinking about it.
Really? Dude, I'm gonna probably play, yeah. I'm probably gonna play. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I gotta like split time between, because I'm still obviously obsessed with RuneScape, and then I got Diablo now, I got League. I'm like 120 LP. I'm trying to peak this week. Like, you know, it's kind of like I plan on doing 10-hour streams all week this week. I plan on streaming 4 p.m. to 2 a.m. the whole time, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so that should be a good time. Oh, I have a coaching session on Wednesday too, actually. Maybe I can't. Never mind.
So, Street Fighter's been taking up a lot of my time.
Was that you in the chat who was talking about Street Fighter?
Maybe.
Somebody was talking about Street Fighter in the Twitch chat on Saturday. But I don't remember. Wait. Was it? Maybe, I don't know.
Because I know their rank system is actually like, it feels rewarding, which is nice compared to like League.
Yeah.
And honestly, I permaban Darius for no other reason than I have mental block against this champion.
And that's fine. Bans are meant to bans are meant to be like your own you know, it's out of your own volition, like whatever you really don't want to play against. Now, if you were banning like Cho'Gath or something, then I'd probably question you and be like, what the hell? You know what I mean? I'd probably hover. I'd probably hover your champ, by the way, just because it's just better to hover so your team knows, so that somebody doesn't lock in like 80 mid, 80 jungle and assume that you're gonna play an AP top.
Okay.
Always always hover. I
was banning Malphite for a little bit, but then like at this especially like in bronze too. It's kind of like the only champions you'll see top lane are like Darius, Garen, Alawi, and like Teemo.
Yikes. Or that. If that's,
yeah, or that.
I mean, if it's Kale top, you just run their pop. I mean, this would truly and honestly be a stride breaker game.
I'll give it a try.
All right, you'll have me here for you. So you think you struggle with the active? Are you struggling with the active, like using the whip?
I don't know. It just feels like it's not like, I don't know. It just feels different compared to like the things that I've seen and like I don't know. It feels like Triforce just feels so good, I guess.
Yeah.
Especially when you're running Hullbreaker too, with the Conquer stacking alongside Triforce now, so it just feels so much better.
Ooh. Well, if you want to be a Triforce enjoyer, I mean, that's completely fine. We can do Triforce. There's nothing wrong with that. Is that what you want to? You gotta decide in the. Okay, I would still go PTA here though.
PTA.
PTA, yeah. And then I would go second win. So this is one of those rare occasions where PTA is just better because these guys are squishy, right? So you want to get that extra solo damage, and we're going to rush the attack speed item for the Triforce so that we can just... Because once you proc all three, you get an extra like 10% or 12% damage on that individual target, which is just massive. It'll just blow these guys up. Unless... I think it's set top. Go back to Conquer and do bone plating. We'll just take the risk here.
I'm hoping it's...
Because I'm looking at the bans. He banned Scion. I'm assuming it's him. Are you comfortable in this lane?
Set's not too bad. I can usually predict his E. Because a lot of sets too, they kind of have this thing where they like to like if I'll do like a slide parry because they'll see me dash in and automatically go for the E. So I mean, at least the first time. So
I'd be a little scared of that slide parry in. So think about it this way: the playstyle that I would prefer into set would be to actually go for like those pokes and try to get him to use cooldowns. Like wait for him to, like if he uses anything silly, like whenever he uses cooldowns, so if he tries to trade with you and he uses everything, that's like a green light for you to go back in. All his cooldowns are extremely long on set, so you got to punish when he uses his abilities. Also, what we'll look at here is we'll try to see where junglers start. So one of the biggest things is always identifying the 2v2 in the top lane, which is Fiora and Nunu versus Set and Kindred. And typically, if there was going to be a 2v2, it would be level 3. Do you think that you win that 2v2?
Level 3, I don't think so.
Me neither. So we probably want to just go ahead, and if he's going to take like heavy trades on us early, unless he does something really dumb, we're probably going to let this wave push in just to avoid the 2v2 entirely for the time being.
Okay, so just like focus on last hitting and let him kind of shove into us.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, we'll look for like, if we can get a level 2 all in for sure, but if we can't, then we just don't want to go for the level 3.
Okay, sounds good. I'll just kind of play by ear, I guess, see what he does with his
yeah, we're gonna play this game and just basically have a conversation the whole time.
Okay.
Which I think is really beneficial, because I think a lot of the times, like, you don't even... Sometimes people just autopilot really hard, and when you're having a conversation while you're playing and talking about everything that's happening, I think it adds a new perspective and like layer to everything, you know?
Yeah. So you go like the D blade here?
Yep.
Okay.
But let me just bring this up real quick. All right. So something to think about.
Me, so I think she's gonna go.
Yep, she's probably starting. Yep. Let me move my face so chat can see. Let me get this off the screen. Move this. I'll be over here instead. So let's look at Set's cooldowns really quick, right? His Q cooldown is 9 seconds. W cooldown 18 seconds. E cooldown 16 seconds. Did you hear that for the cooldowns though?
My daughter's yelling at me, so I'm trying to. Oh my god. Fucking kids, man.
All right.
I thought she was gonna be content with Netflix.
9 seconds on Q, 18 on W, and 16 on E. So when they use that ability, have that mental note and know.
Yeah. I know the E cooldown's extremely long, level 1.
Yep. We know that Kindred's starting bot side, so that will be the case here.
Okay.
But now you can look for trades for the next 14 seconds, right? Yep. Side. He's still got time. He's got it. Yep. 1. And now we probably have to chill. He'll have it back in 5 seconds. But right now we won that trade, so that's good.
Yeah. He's not really shoving at all.
Nope. Probably wants you to get ganked. But I wouldn't try to like hard shove it or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm just chilling out.
You're on a timer for like the next 30 seconds right now where Kindred could gank technically, because he could just skip a buff and go for you. So yeah. This is better if we let this shove into us.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping he does right now, so which we have he has minion advantage, so kinda.
Did Nunu like die in the AFK?
I fucking certainly hope not.
Hmm.
I know he snowballed level 1 straight into her jungle, so.
All right, so on this, now that this hit wave, we can look for an all-in on this bounce back when we're the same level because we're full HP. We'll just focus on getting all the CS here, which I think we're winning in CS right now, which is great. Oh, it's a remake. It looks like.
Very cool.
All right. Well, you're good.
That's fucking fantastic. I love this game sometimes.
Hey, it's all good. All right, now let's review this in the VOD and we'll call it a session. No, we're good. No big deal.
This game. Oh my god. Can I just get like 2 seconds? She's
yeah, you're fine.
Having a conniption over here.
You're good. That would have been a fun one, actually. RuneScape time.
And I still lose full LP for that. Very good.
Wait, did you actually?
Yes, I did. Negative 23. Hell
wait,
yeah.
hold on, let me see that. Wow, Jesus.
Fucking fantastic.
Yeah, that's actually really frustrating. I'm sorry about that. Jesus. Why would that not just be a remake?
Because he was in game and then he fucking AFK'd after he died.
Yeah, but it should still like be at least what's it called? Loss mitigated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's one of my biggest issues with this game is because there's a lot of other team-based like ranked games that if someone leaves, you don't lose any of your points. So.
No, well, I mean, you shouldn't. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
That's one of my big frustrations with this, because it seems like at least, it could be the same for both sides, too. Like, they could have had someone that left, too, and the same thing could have happened, but, it just feels really shitty sometimes, too. So.
Well, I'll have to see, because the thing is a lot of the time what happens is typically when you get into bronze, you're like perma-stuck in bronze because there's just like your gains are either off or something like that. Like a lot of people jump into ranked when they're not either they're not ready or they're just still experimenting on a bunch of champions, and then they just kind of lose a bunch of games and ruin their MMR, and then, you know, they're stuck. They're just stuck there forever, you know? So sometimes the best thing to do is legit just to make a new account.
I do have a new account too, but it's not a high enough level to play ranked yet. Because I kind of thought that too. I was like bronze. I was like, my MMR is probably shit because I lost a bunch of games on Kiana. I was like, I lost a bunch of games that I shouldn't have lost.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay. It's like I kind of threw games because I had a good lead, and then I went in because I was like, I have item, I can fucking 3v1. And then I didn't 3v1, as a matter of fact, and, you know, threw a massive lead to like some super scaling jungler that can snowball out of control, like Master Yi or fucking Udyr or something.
Try to switch for one of the last picks. You don't want to be first pick on Fiora.
I do not tolerate cowardice.
He is probably just gonna say no.
Well, if you can get mid or bot, you just don't want to be the first pick. You always want to try to switch, and right now in the meta, that's kind of like very common. Top lane is typically at least second pick and not first. But more ideally, we would want to be last entirely, because top laners just don't pick first. It's usually ADC, support, and jungle picks first, and then solo lanes pick in the final phase. Mordekaiser ban is probably your pick, I would say. Be last entirely. Top.
Mila. Okay. And this guy mid, just like, okay. I hope he goes like Annie or something.
I long for a worthy opponent.
Alright, we'll wait to adjust until we see enemy. If we don't want to do whip active items, like, we can still play. Alright, this is Divine game. We have to go Divine and Grasp.
Is it bone plating, or should I take second win for Q poke?
We'll probably do second win with Unflinching, and then we'll take Precision with Presence of Mind and Alacrity, yep, and then MR Rune. So going the Precision allows us to still have double adaptive and still be able to look for those heavy all-ins level 2, level 3, basically. Like, we're gonna, if this guy doesn't build, if he doesn't build Bramble Vest, then we just win easily, by the way.
Is this a ghost game then? Because his only form of CC would be ult, and to kind of counteract the slow from his Q.
I wouldn't. I mean, you could run
Okay.
Ghost, but I would like Flash better here.
Okay.
Because his slow is so much that it's literally gonna cut through your Ghost.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't 100% sure because I know this. I don't know if this. I think the slow scales off of points and Q as well, so I just wasn't completely sure on that.
Like, you can run Ghost whenever. I mean, realistically, it's just like, I just don't see the need for it here, essentially.
And is D shield or D blade?
Dorn Shield. If you went second wind, so you go Dorn Shield.
Okay, so that'll be like standard then if you go second wind.
Yep, if you go second wind, you have to go Dorn Shield because they go hand in hand. And if you go bone plating, you'll take Dorn's Blade because that means you're probably fighting.
Okay.
That means you're going against a melee. Ooh.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Okay, let's I don't know if I would invade that, but
So, Graves and Malphite versus Fiddlesticks and Fiora. I actually think that you guys would win at level 3, to be honest, because they just wouldn't do enough damage to kill Fiddlesticks. So, You can play aggressive into this lane and go for big heavy trades, but I would try to be trading with him as much as possible, to be completely honest with you. Rush level 2 and then go for the all-in.
Okay, so you want me to kind of not like hard shove, but
Not hard shove. I want to look for the grass pokes more often than not. So if he's got a front-facing vital, a top vital, a bottom vital, whatever it may be, then I want to like be maneuvering around and going for those.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then obviously when the 7th minion comes along, if we can get him low enough, I would back away and reset this vital because it's the beginning of the lane.
Yeah.
There we go. Like I wouldn't do that when the minions are there, but like this, you should have already poked this. We should poke this. Yeah.
Okay.
And then we should be positioning towards the next vital. So we should be hovering bot side. Yep. And then we go. We want to be able to trade with him again before that comes back up. So you need to be on the side where the vital's facing. Heavier trades after he uses cooldowns like that.
Okay. Okay, so use the potion.
Yep, and you can just keep doing that. As long as he doesn't get shield back up. Like we just go back in, yep. You can just stay on him, yep. You got parry too, as he walks away. Just go ahead and hit it. Now we go back to farming. And we just keep beating him up like that. That's literally it. Yep. We love it. I want to go for a dive on this, to be completely honest. Keep poking. You ready to flash? Kill? Yep. Easy. Alright. And now, shove this quick. Oh, what? Get that cannon. Oh, no.
I'm scared of Graves, man.
Graves is bot lane. You should.
Okay.
Well, now, if he decides... Is this guy not going to teleport? Alright.
Sad.
An ally has been slain.
Go ahead, sell your potion, get a refillable, and then buy a Sheen. And back to lane.
Such unrefined style.
When we go more in depth in the VOD, we'll talk about that wave management there.
Okay. I think that's probably one of my biggest struggle points. Especially coming from like playing an assassin where you kind of just shove and roam on repeat.
Yeah. So you're going to want to catch this wave and freeze it, right?
At once.
Yep.
So we want to cut it down to 4 minions right now. And then try to take... So we want to be aggressive with him while hitting the minions. So I don't want to let him push this. I want to keep attacking minions, trading when I have the chance, going back, making sure that this wave stays low. Now he misses cannon because of that trade. You got 2 refillables, so keep attacking minions. Probably take out some casters. They're lower HP. That's fine. Go back to getting this minion. We want to cut this down to 4. It's the mini game. Don't let this hit the tower. He's going to run out of mana soon. You're fine. You still got another refillable. Get all these casters. Or the melees, I mean. You have another refillable. Yeah, this is the mini game we're playing right now. You win that hard. Next time he walks up, keep this minion. Keep hitting minions. Because if this hits tower, he's allowed to leave for free. That's how we're going to catch him to make a mistake, is by cutting this down. You're fine. Just go ahead and recall. Don't waste time. Just recall and teleport back. Yep. Longsword and just come back to lane. Ooh, I would wait. Yeah. You're not going to be full HP here. Alright, just slow and make sure that you get all of them. Alright, now we just last hit. We don't touch these minions. We just build up a real big wave. So we just do this real slow. Now we just relax. Only last hits. Don't use mana. You don't need to.
Nice RNG for that minion right there.
An enemy has been slain.
And Yon disconnected, so that's pretty good too.
Alright, and then we're going to want to get this next wave here, and we're going to want to get a Demolish proc. You got 2 refillables. So we want to try and push this as hard as we can. Drink both refillables right now. Because you're going to walk up, and you're going to ignore this guy entirely and go hit a Demolish proc. And he's going to probably waste his ulti on you. And then you're gonna get away. Now we gotta get out.
No,
Okay.
Fiddlesticks just ulted in. What the fuck?
And you're just gonna recall. Ignore that.
Okay.
Yep. He's wasted. It's... You should still have good habits even when enemy has bad ones, but we should be spam pinging our teammate to let him know not to. Like when he's sitting there in the bush and saying, no, I don't want to do this. But we're just walking in, we're grabbing the plate, and then we're recalling, then we're going to grab wave again. We're just resetting. We're just maximizing our gold.
Okay. So I think he's going AP Malphite, looks like, even though he's using grasp.
That's a really good thing. That means he's really easy to kill if he's full AP.
And he doesn't have ult, because I've seen him ult Fiddlesticks.
Get this down to 4. We gotta freeze it. Four casters. Now I'll walk backwards. Okay. That's fine. Only last hit, no abilities. Just A clicking. We're just denying him CS and gold and XP.
Because these are the games that I would really like to learn how to carry, especially when like Yon DCs.
Yeah. Alright, we're gonna play the mini game again. But we're gonna be a little bit more aggressive because we have more items. Like that trade, I would carry that out a little bit further.
Just keep going with it.
Yep. I would ult him right now, actually. I would just ult him.
He fucking
There we go.
flashed, and I
That's
like
fine.
parry.
Yeah, you get parry back up in 20 seconds. You get flashback in 5 minutes. I think that's fine.
Enemy killing spree.
Front facing. We want to remember our combos. We auto E Q. And we're off on this because you're taking crazy minion damage. The minions
Yeah.
only last hit. It's still
Okay.
yep, just keep it slow.
Others try. I succeed.
If we haven't seen him when the next wave hits, then we'll shove it. Alright, we'll shove it now. Look for go for casters first. They're lower, they have half the HP as a melee. Oh, he's back. He used teleport. Yep. That's good, that's good. Take your next refillable. Always make sure you check items before you go for fights too, because you don't know what he has. Okay, there you go.
Okay.
Just want to know.
In the blink of an eye.
Oh, damn.
This is shoving back to you. You can look for a play when it gets a little closer. We just need to get a little bit of HP back, because he does do a lot. So on that vital there.
What the fuck?
Like we should go... Oh, okay. You have flash?
What the?
Sell your Dorn Shield and buy Divine. Don't worry about the mistakes that are in game, because that's what we'll look at in the VOD. You just move on from them and keep playing, right? It's all good.
How the fuck does he have... No, he killed Fiddlesticks, that's right. Ugh.
We're up CS.
Yeah, we're up CS, down a mid laner.
Uh-huh. He's irrelevant to the grand scheme of trying to improve or get better. It's annoying, but... So we could look to shove this most likely.
Precision and grace.
You could probably line up the wave and parry it if you wanted it to.
I missed that last cast again.
Fine. We'll just look to see if we can get a demolish proc for a little bit of gold here. So at this point, if he's full AP, it's actually really easy to kill him once you have divine. So this is obviously a massive power spike. Yep, go for another plate. Oh, just go ahead, yep.
Go out for the plate.
Yeah, but you're kind of stalling really hard, so you should probably get out now.
I fucking think I die here, actually.
You're fine. Just Q away. You can recall and teleport back. So if you're gonna do it, you have to, like, if you commit to getting that plate, you have to get it. Yeah, you're walking away, going back in, not auto attacking, walking away again, going back in, just wasting so much time. Get boots and a longsword and teleport back.
Boots the longsword.
Yep. And you're allowed to just be super aggressive with the vine. I would put a ward down below you, by the way, while you have a second.
Graves has been here more than a few times, so.
Insolent peasants.
Just go get the scuttle or something here. Plates are going to be on anyways. While it's resetting. Actually, he's pushing it pretty fast. Go ahead and stay there for a second. Actually, no, he's not there. Just go ahead and get scuttle. You're fine. Just kite it back up to you.
An enemy has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
And go back and catch wave.
They dare not strike back.
Alright, wave will be reset now in the middle of the lane, so now is an opportunity to look for a kill.
Strike quickly, strike deftly.
That is so annoying.
With grasp and Q poke on divine, you just out heal him anyway. Whenever you get the chance, you just heal like 170 every time.
In the blink of an eye.
So in situations where he's not like walking.
I would
like
look
that,
behind you, 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 behind you. Just be ready to parry. He's gonna. Yep, there you go. Ult him first.
I don't think I win that. So this is fucking.
The thing is, though, is you're gonna die anyways, and you have a bush right there, right? We'll look at it. We'll look at it in the bottle show. But whoever we can stun, we would definitely want to at least give it a shot. Because on that 1.5 second cooldown for Divine, you should be healing off every vital for around like 180, 170. So there's just a better opportunity there.
It's like Merc treads or steel caps.
Nah, I wouldn't even get boots. I would get a pickaxe. We don't really need to worry about 2-tier boots. We always want to maximize damage, basically. The only time you would really get tier 2 boots is if you're against like in a ranged AD laner. Other than that, you don't really need to.
Okay.
Now, ideally, in any like realistic game, we would probably just very slowly push this back, but we can look to shove it. It's just because we don't have a mid laner, so we kind of have to be fast-paced, and we don't have the time to necessarily sit there and scale and try to punish.
2 games in a row.
And make sure next time we're in base that we switch to blue wards as well.
Okay. Yeah.
We always just want blue wards once the laning phase is over, just to see from far away. At least on Fiora, if you're playing like Jax or something, you want the yellow wards, obviously, to be able to jump to them.
Yeah.
We have no real fight potential. I mean, you can watch them go for that, but I would just keep on split here. The only way to win a 4v5 is just to split. He's teleporting to you, so that means you have an opportunity to teleport away, right?
Yeah.
I would back up before you lose all your HP. And then look for a teleport. He's got a ward right there on that fight. You can actually... Yep. Ooh, well. I was thinking a little bit below, but...
Oh, are you talking about this ward right here?
Yeah, all the way down there behind them right there. But that's okay. You have flash.
Yeah, I mean, Fizz is coming up right there, and everyone else is kind of... backing off, so I don't... This is a thing, too, where I don't know how to play these fights in particular. Where I teleport in, and everyone kind of just backs off.
So you have to be like the engage there, the initiator. Because you've got... Go get Tiamat, by the way. And then you have to be the one who's going to make the play. Right? Because Fizz is split from them. If you flash in on Xerath and just kill him real quick, get your heals, and you can go for the kill on Jhin, and then team has time to actually collapse and get back to end of the fight.
Okay.
Yeah, go towards bot. Yep, because Fiddlesticks is here.
Huh?
Ult.
He's so fucking fast. I can't. Oh my god.
Long sword.
It's a painful game. I'm just not having a good game recently. Fun.
I mean, there's a lot to talk about, though, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's not like a bad thing. The more to talk about, the better.
Yeah, very true.
Graves, front-facing Vital. You're fine to go for it. Just chase him, and then you're going to go kill Xerath next. So we cut. Alright. We'll just get the mid-tower. That's fine. Let him have it. You kind of need the... Honestly, you need the supers to get more gold. But we'll get the subjective bounty real quick, which will be really nice. And then I would reset. And then I'd probably get Merc Treads actually. Probably get Merc Treads. Yeah, and then get sell your refillable for the item. So this is pretty good now that they took this, so you're just gonna push down bot lane until it gets to like... We're just gonna push out bot lane for a while. They're probably just gonna go for Baron. There's nothing you can do. You're down a man.
Yeah.
So you're just trying to set yourself up so that a wave isn't like huge or stacking towards bot lane. So we'll keep going until we can kill that first super minion wave, and then we'll back up. And then we're just going to try to win this game off split pushing. If we get the opportunity, we want to put like a ward on dragon just so we can see it. So like right now would be a good opportunity to walk through river instead.
Need to fucking go get that blue trinket. I keep forgetting about that. Alright. I don't know if I win that, especially with Jen being as fed as he is.
An ally has been slain.
You just walk back to base then. You do what?
Fizz being here now, this is fucking fantastic.
I will say,
Holy shit. I should have just engaged there.
yep, you would win that. You would die eventually, but you would at least get one, maybe two. But you had Malphite and Fizz above as well inside the jungle there.
Yeah.
Your inhibitor has been destroyed.
So what would, like, next item be?
I would go Hullbreaker.
Hullbreaker.
I would just try to split push to win this game and go Hullbreaker and Sterix. If there was any chance to win, it was going to be just off me 1v9 split pushing basically. That'd be the only way. Just ult anybody right now because you need the movement speed to keep up.
What the dude? Oh my god. This is a fucking horrendous game.
It's the fearless fish gap.
It's the fucking the win shitter gap where they have a fucking grand scheme to keep the champion under fucking 50%.
So, there's actually so much to talk about in that game that I just want to go ahead and do it because I think that this is going to take a while to even talk about this. How many games are you new to Fiora?
Relatively new, yes.
Do you always play with the what's it called on that gosh, without quick cast? I guess is the easy way to say it. Like you don't have quick
Normal
cast
cast?
on?
Or-
Yeah, normal cast. Do you always play it with that? Have you
Um,
tried to get out of that and play quick cast?
So I have it set. So I think it is on quick cast. I just have like the line indicators, I guess.
Okay. So I'm gonna stream my screen. Can you send me a friend request on my Veta account?
Which one is that?
I'm streaming
Is
it.
that
And if you look in Discord, I'm streaming it, and you can see my name.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna grab some water really quick. Oh. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me adjust my screen so it's easier for stream to view this. Don't need all this stuff up there. We're on YouTube, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. You see my cursor?
Yes.
Okay. You see this?
Yep.
All right.
I'm gonna mute my mic.
That's fine. I'm just gonna talk then. So, obviously, first thing we look at always is 2v2. We identify that we can win the 2v2, and we have both junglers starting bot side, so we're kind of fine on just like being aggressive in this lane and going for level 2 all in. Our biggest kill opportunity is always going to be within the first 3 levels on Malphite for sure. So we really want to be a little bit more aggressive. Now with Grasp, it's kind of like we're really trying to build up the Grasp proc and then go for it. So let's just see. Now, the biggest thing too is obviously taking advantage of enemy cooldowns. So if he's ever using his cooldown to go for a minion or something like that, that's a green light to trade as well. So that we always want to auto attack afterwards too, by the way. That is proper. So I know we're doing the Q pokes, but anytime that we can get the auto attack, since it is an auto cancel, we always want to go for that too, like how we did here, because they just go hand in hand, boom, boom, walk away. Like this front facing vital, I would have actually, it would have been more beneficial to just walk forward, right? And auto attack instead.
Yeah, and then Q to the next one.
Yep. Because we know the vitals moving in patterns. We got top right and then like blue side, red side, whatever. So top right and then left bottom. So if we just walk forward and auto attack it, then we can actually Q behind him and use that to position ourselves for the next vital. But also with Q being an auto cancel, if you auto Q auto, it's a lot faster and there's more damage there, right? So this was good. We just kept the trades. We used W for a fadeaway. And then this is typically when we'll see ourselves being able to get a kill is on these first, because Malphite just is terrible in these first few levels. And we do get the kill, which is great. But then we want to hurry up and like shove this wave instantly, right? Because we got another one coming. So we've got parry ready to go so that we can actually parry the remainder of the wave. Now, obviously, if he has teleport, it becomes pretty difficult. But you can also just look for another like kill on him if he tries to keep trading with you at this point when you have a level advantage and you're about to be level 4 after getting so low. Well, we took that other, I see, we did take another tower shot. Well, we should at least get, well realistically should happen because he didn't do it. We should definitely get the cannon. There's no reason to panic or think about the Graves whatsoever, because if Graves is coming, you're already dead. It doesn't matter. If Graves is coming, you're not getting out of it. You might as well spend the extra half a second to go ahead and auto attack this cannon. Cannon will be very important. So we would have just grabbed this cannon real quick and then recalled. Now, if he decides not to teleport, then for sure we can just shove this wave, and that's completely fine. We also see Graves in the bot lane, so we know that he's there. So we might as well just go for it. Because the thing is, as well, is if he doesn't teleport and we want to go for this shove, and even if Graves was like on his way to gank us, this wave being stuck like this is so much worse than like dying. So I'd rather die to actually push this wave.
Okay.
Because it's just huge, just a massive punish for him, right?
Okay.
So this is really good. I mean, this, realistically, this is the lane. The lane's over. It should be over after that. That's You were able to shove the wave. He didn't use teleport. He doesn't know how to manage the wave. And now we play the mini game, which is now I don't know if you do this. It didn't seem like you were too comfortable doing it, but we should be doing this all the time. You're always trying to freeze on these areas here. So these are like the most ideal spots to freeze a wave, just because we have the whole lane to run somebody down essentially. So if he's trying to, because you notice that he takes these trades a lot inside the zone here, and he gets lower and lower. And then if we try to chase him, he's got to run all the way back to tower. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So at these early levels too, I guess, like if I'm gonna run somebody down, should I be looking to like parry his Q when I see it if I'm running him down then, or yeah, his Q,
his
little like meteor thing.
Really, what you're trying to parry is his like the attack speed slow. That's the biggest thing. Like when he slows your attack speed, that's where you can't take like crazy trades. So I mean, if he's queuing at you and you slide parry into him, that's pretty fine. But what we're really looking for, like when he uses, and then he gets like he's always gonna get the, even if you parry his Q, he's still gonna get the movement speed from it anyways. So it's kind of just like whatever. But if we don't get our attack speed slow, then we're looking all right. So we're playing the mini game. He's wasting his mana, and we just want to continuously be aggressive while keeping the wave right here. That's what we want to do. We want to keep trading while attacking minions. So there's like no downtime here. There's like we're autoing minions, or we're trading with them, and then we're going back. We don't want to chase them too far because it ruins the freeze, right? We want to go in, get our combo out, and like our most ideal combo would be like the auto EQ E2. If we have to Q in, then we can just Q auto E and then E2 and walk away, which is a secondary option. But we always want to be trying to use like our cooldowns on champion, and then just continuously be attacking the minions. Now, when we're trying to like get these minions, we have to like reduce their damage output as fast as possible. We need to keep in mind that casters right now, level 3, have 308 HP, and then the melees have 521. So it's going to be a lot easier to actually take the casters out of the game first, and especially when you think about how hard they're pushing. All I really want is 4 casters. Your minions aren't going to ever focus the casters. So if I instantly, whenever the wave is pushing, if I instantly go and cut down to 4 casters, especially because they do more than twice the amount of damage, if you can see, they do 12 compared to 27. So if I just instantly go for casters and cut them down to 4, it's going to be a lot easier for me to manage these guys, because my minions are going to help me manage them as well, right? So at this point, when he's like this low mana, this right here is a kill. So this is just a missed opportunity that we're not familiar with it. This right here is just a kill. Now, obviously Graves is here. So like, we're going to pretend he's not for a second, because we just want to be able to identify these situations. But with him being this low, and he's really not even that low, it's like 3/4, but with him having no mana, there's nothing that he can really do after he uses all his cooldowns. He'll get another Q probably, but not another W, not another E, and you have parry to slow his attack speed and his movement speed for 2 seconds by 50%, and then you would just run him back to tower basically. So imagining a world where we actually have vision. Also, just really quick, because your vision kind of sucks, but that's okay. So the thing with early game vision is you don't even really need to put it in the bush. They're yellow wards, so they can't really tell. All you really need to be able to do is cover this area. So whenever you get the chance, when you can walk out, putting a ward like right here is much better, right? Because this ward will actually see if they come over the blast cone right here. It's in the middle of the river, so you're actually going to see enemy when they're right here instead, right? So you have a lot more time to react.
Okay.
Yeah, you just don't even have to, you don't have to put a ward in this bush whatsoever. Like, it's just, it's not really necessary. The only reason you would put a ward in this bush is if you were playing against an enemy champion. Like, for example, if I move this map really quick and we look at, like, mid lane, these wards always suck unless it's, like, a kindred who can just jump over the wall. Like, if enemy jungler can't get over walls, then we don't really need to worry about the bush, because you might be worried that he might like go over the vision. But if it's right here in the middle, even if he hits the blast cone or something like that, or if he ease over, you're just going to see him. So you want to have more time, because the only ward I did see was one that was like on the top half of this bush, and that's just kind of useless. So when you get the time and you're going to put a ward down, we want to make sure that it's worth it and like actually get it all the way out here, because then we can know if we can go for plays like this, like we could on that Mal fight, right?
Yeah.
So we survive this. When that happens, yeah, we just want to instantly back. We don't want to waste any time. We don't want to ego. There's no point to ego for a dive, especially when we're already up 10 CS on the guy. We're up 600 gold already. It's not worth the risk when we can just teleport back and safely get the minions. Obviously, want to keep eyes on your HP bar, because once you use teleport, you're going to be stuck here for a little while. So we just want to make sure that we're full HP before we teleport back. So just wait another second there before you teleport so that you can be full HP. And then here, the reason that we're slow pushing back is because slow pushing will allow us to actually like build a defense almost, like where you're going to have 3 waves that are pushing into the tower. So not only does it make it harder for enemy to actually trade with you when you have like 15 minions protecting you, but it also takes them a really long time to clear it from the tower, which means that you can make plays on the map. So we're going to build this up really slowly, and then we have our opportunity essentially where we can do multiple things. We can roam and set up deep vision in their jungle over this wall so we can see blue and Gromp, and not only does that help you, but it helps the rest of the team as well, just to know where enemy jungler is. We can move down, put a ward here. You can also roam into mid lane and go for a gank from behind as well. So you have a lot of options, right? The worst thing that we could do is crash a wave like that and then recall, because if we only recall and we don't do anything extra, by the time we get back, we're still going to be sitting here waiting.
Okay.
So we're looking to build up these big waves, especially when we have a lead, to kind of like snowball our lead. But also it just makes it a little bit easier for us to stay protected from any type of ganks, because even in a 1v2, it's going to be hard for them to kill you when you have that many minions protecting you. And it's just a lot safer so that we don't throw a lead. But that's like our thought process at this moment, right? Because like when we look at it, even if we're looking at the gold, you're almost 1,000 gold up on the enemy right now. So we're just chilling. We're just chilling, and we're going to try to keep on pushing that lead essentially. We don't need to be too hectic, too panicked, too nothing. I mean, we are just chilling, relaxing. We're top laners. We don't do much. You know what I mean? Like, this would have been an opportunity as well to like go and put a ward down when we're just like, when we're walking in, teleporting, and this wave hit. That'd be fine for you to walk down and come back around and miss like 1 or 2 minions, just so you have vision there, just when nothing's going on. So obviously using pings really important. This guy dies to Malphite here because he's just not sure what he's doing, but I'm sure that you see this very often, obviously, where people just make really dumb plays, but you have to be able to communicate with your team as well. Using pings are very important. You just need them to know what you're doing. You never really need to type for somebody to know what you're doing, but if I just ping this guy off a couple times, then he knows. Like, obviously, I don't want to dive this, but I do want to ego this guy a little bit because he just doesn't do damage. So I want to grab this massive wave, and this is like another option as well. When it's an enemy that doesn't have a lot of damage, you put them in a really weird spot when you walk up like this to just go for a demolish proc, because he's going to miss out on a ton of minions by doing this, right? Like, he's just going to miss out on a ton. But also, the way we position is kind of scary. Like, I want you to like walk up and kind of like hover for a second. Make sure you 1, 2, 3 click on demolish and then walk up. Make sure we get the plate, and then we're going to queue backwards. Like, walking through it is super scary because I don't even know where Graves is. If I walk through it, he could be doing Gromp or something right now. But if I just walk up, ego, get this demolish proc, and then queue backwards, I'm out of tower range. You know what I mean? But when you walk through to do that, it's really scary.
Yeah, I see what you're saying there too. Okay. So you just want to hover until that final demolish.
Yeah, just so we get the damage.
Okay.
And then we come back, and now this is set up for, like, if we really want to like dominate, especially like bronze, silver, gold, most of these players don't have any idea like how to manage their wave whatsoever. So like when he leaves a wave like this and we're able to come back, catch it, get 4, like ideally we cut this down to 4, let our minions die, and then we want to drag these guys back. We want to like walk behind them, drag them back, and then go into the bush so they don't aggro, but then they collect with the next wave that's coming. And then I'll come back around and stand in front of my minions and do the same thing and cut it back down to 4 over and over again. So I'm kind of just non-stop keeping the minion wave in this area by bringing it down to 4, wrapping around, right?
Okay.
Now, obviously, that's a little bit different when you have another champion there against you, but in this situation where you're alone and you're just doing that, you're able to just set up the wave however you want to do it. And you can drag these guys pretty far back. So we would be postured behind enemy minions right now so that we can drag them backwards.
Okay.
So now it's just the same thing where we're just auto-attacking. No abilities need to be used. I like to use the A click for this, where it puts the little circle around your body and it's attack move click and stun.
Okay.
Now this would be like a huge, like right there, legit.
Yeah.
The thing with Fiora is just play super aggressive. Like right here, you can literally get his ulti or flash out so easily just by ulting him right here. So we go down, and now we're postured where the next vital is going to be on this side. If we wanted to trade like that, preferably we just ult this guy right now because he's step past, he's in our zone. Like this circle is our zone. Yeah. So when he's in our zone, I can do whatever I want. Like anytime somebody walks in front of me, I'm just gonna ult him. Why not? He's got no Bramble Vest, who cares? So I just go for it. So we just ult this guy right here. The only way for him to get out is if he uses ult or flash, and then it's cool. So we took the trade. I mean, I'd rather him not have ult and me not have ult than both of us have ult, actually. And I mean, you got his flash right there. It's really that easy. You didn't even have to use anything. But you can force it out by using that.
This TV's back in, and Graves just topside, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like you said, that Warden River, I could have walked down and put one in there.
So
yeah, because
in this
around here.
So in this gank though, you have to know that he's going to ult you, right?
Yeah.
So you should just flash. We should just flash early.
Okay.
Because we know he's going to ult you. And you have flash.
Yeah.
So why not just get out of the way? Now the thing is if you're going to play Fiora, you have to be able to identify what abilities enemy is going to use on you to be able to, like, what's going to be your parry. So especially in how far away he was, I will be honest, this is like, if we're going to play Fiora, this is quite inexcusable because we have to know that he's going to do it. So we were either flashing or parrying, especially from that big of a distance. If he's standing on top of you, it's really, you know, impossible for you to parry it. But when he has that type of distance, you have a lot of time to react. I mean, like, now we'll put it in slow motion so it'll look a little weird. But I mean, like, I get smoke screen. Oh God, I can't see. I can see. Have to know that that's coming. Yeah. Have to know that they're going to try to close the gap like that, you know, because that's his only play. So we die, but it's really not the end of the world. We still have a gold lead of actually 600 gold, and that's all stemming from that first kill that we got earlier in the game. So, I mean, next big thing that we really need to understand with Fiora is okay, this play really quick. Just get the plates. When you walk in, you know how many plates you want to get. It doesn't matter if he shows up. Just get the plates. Just stand there. Okay. He just use ult to kill you, so you know that he doesn't have ult. But when you start hesitating, that's where you're gonna have to take so much unnecessary damage. You walk away. That's an auto attack you miss. Walk away. Another auto attack that you missed. Oh, that was like 2 auto attacks you missed.
Yeah, kind of.
And it was just like, holy shit, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then we have to use teleport for that. If we just stand there and make sure that we commit to it and just grab it, then we're completely fine, and then we can just come back and reset. So, and what I was gonna say is another thing that's really important for Fiora is obviously identifying power spikes. So Divine is probably one of the biggest power spikes on Fiora in the entire game, actually. Even with the new mythics that are buffed, Divine is still just so powerful because you heal for so much and it scales. So like at this point you're healing like 180 or something like that for each vital, which is kind of just insane. You know what I mean? And we'll probably be able to see that number come up actually. That was a 101 back to full health. Getting Scuttle is fine here. Why not? Another 100 gold for free. But when enemies in lane, we're definitely pressing tab and we're looking to see like what items does he have. He doesn't have mythic, I have mythic, so I'm gonna try to be super aggressive and go for a play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. So just knowing that I have the
Hey.
advantage over.
Yeah, that you're just stronger.
Okay.
I want to see this heal real quick. 219, by the way. That's on a 1.5 second cooldown. Think about how much healing that is.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So you gotta be 225. Yeah, you gotta be ready to limit test and go for it because you're gonna heal so much more than you realize. Like that's a massive
I think
heal.
that's the other thing that I haven't really taken into account either is the amount that I'm healing off of vitals with grasp and divine.
Yep, and I think you were distracted here because you did see Graves. So in this situation, because I was calling it out, but you saw him really early. Like we saw Graves very early here. So saw him like 2 seconds ago. If anything, the best play here would be to try to actually get this guy isolated and go for the 1v1 on him before this guy even realizes it. A lot of the time, oh yeah, just let that go. Just let that crash by itself. It doesn't need you to help it. It'll just crash, and then if we can get a 1v1 on this guy, we could kill that guy for sure. But kind of get distracted here, and then this. Now we actually do parry right here, which is great, but we kind of have to just go for it, right?
Yeah, I see.
Because what are we gonna do? So this guy's stunned. This is a 2-second stun on parry, right? This is a long stun. You have a vital that's right here, so you can actually just hit this vital and then ulti and then hit the same vital twice. So there's 2 vitals right there. Then we can play the bush a little bit. We can Q this way and try to play counterclockwise on the ultimate and see if we can get this kill on him. Neither of these guys have healing reduction whatsoever, so there is a good chance that we can actually win this 1v2 here. And it looks really crazy for me to say that like right now, but with how much healing you get, it's not that crazy. Like once this guy's stunned, boom, we hit that vital, we ult, boom, hit the next vital that appears on the vital we just hit, counterclockwise rotation, left vital, bot vital, right vital, and then try to heal a little bit, and then we're good. And the more movement you have, it's harder for Graves is like a melee range champion essentially. It's really hard for him to maximize damage output on you like that. You know what I mean? If you're moving around a lot, yeah. Especially playing the bushes, it makes it really difficult too. And this guy just used all. I mean, look at his cooldowns here. He just used everything right there, and you stunned him. Okay. I mean, what was he gonna? He was gonna stand there and just take it. Like 6 seconds, 7 seconds, 6 seconds. Like he can't even play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying now.
You might as well try, because if we just do this, then we just die.
Okay. So it's better to just try to make the play and die rather than dying anyways and losing something like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, I think that if we were a little bit more comfortable, I think that's a pretty easy win there. But we got the parry on the ulti, which was good, because we should be when it's from that range. You know what I mean? Now, obviously, in this situation, if we were to lose our tower like earlier or anything, we would really just freeze like towards our 2-tier tower, right? Because it just, if we're losing weight, or if we lost lane really hard, or if we were like getting permagang to like whatever, the goal would be to keep wave right here, just because it gives my team more flexibility to actually roam and help me. Like jungler could come and flank, mid laner could come and flank, and I can just hold the wave here and freeze it forever, and I'm forcing enemy to have to walk past that line of comfortability to actually be able to fix the wave and have to go through jungle or like come straight through lane or whatever it may be. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, just saying.
So they have to cross like the halfway mark to get there. And then it's very risky for them to do that, to try and fix this wave if I just keep it frozen. And that also just gives, like, it's easier for your team to respond as well and be able to come and help you. Especially if enemy has like a massive shutdown, because we just lost lane super hard, we could get that shutdown. And then we could start building up our gold again. And if we're able to get that kill past that line, then we can actually go ahead and shove, and timers are around 20-30 seconds. And then, you know, by the time it hits the tower, they're forced to either teleport and lose another summoner, or like whatever it may be, or just miss out on the gold entirely, which is how we slowly get back into the game. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
So we really need to be like, you were like not lock screen and lock screen at the same time, like mostly lock screen though. So we need to be really like watching what's going on the map. So I don't need to see my character here. It doesn't matter. I know that my character, if I go and click the tower, then my character is going to click the tower. So I want to see what's going on. We've got a ward right here that's kind of watching what's going on, right? So I'm just hitting this tower. I don't really need to look. I can just press spacebar, look back, go back. All right, I see a teleport here. I need to be thinking this whole time. So the second that I see a teleport, I'm backing up because I see 2 shutdowns on an enemy team. And if I can get those shutdowns, I might be able to carry. So the second that this guy starts teleporting, I'm backing up. I'm going to get out of vision, and then I'm looking for my teleport play. So without you being able to actually see, here's the thing. If you're not going to like click around on the map and use your map and understand what the fight looks like, where everybody's postured, all that stuff, then you might as well not ever run teleport. You might as well just run ignite and just like lock screen it up and just try to, you know, tunnel vision your way to a victory. Ideally, we would have already identified what this fight looked like. We would have seen everybody walk over this ward, and we would know that they were all 3 here. We would know that we have Nyla, Lux, and Fiddle literally collapsed on, like, these. If we teleport here, they're completely stuck here. There's going to be a 4v3. This is a really good chance for us to make up about 2,000 GP here, cut the deficit by a lot. But we take a teleport here because we're unaware of what's actually going on the map.
Yeah, I see what you're saying now.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the teleport right here, if we would have done it earlier, we would have already had them stuck, and we wouldn't. They got a kill there, and we could finish up these kills too. These guys are just funneling themselves in to this teleport right here that we just completely missed out on.
Yeah, I see what you're saying now. So just clicking around on the map more when I have the time to do so.
Yep.
Like especially if we know Malphite's down by Drake.
And being aware, being aware of what's going on, because we should have already had like this whole thing mapped out basically on where the wards were, where these guys walked right over the ward and walked into our jungle, so we knew they were all there. We should have known that Nyla was here, Lux is here, Fiddlesticks is here, and that we have a full-on collapse. So it's just like being aware of what's going on the map at all times. Now this play right here, we never hesitate like that, never back up. Because you knew that Fizz wasn't there. We knew that Fizz wasn't there the whole time. So we need to go for this play and allow these guys. So imagine what happens here, because you were scared to go in. What happens in this situation is you flash in, you have your ulti, you have Divine, you have your power spike, you're strong right now. You're going to go for whoever you want to go for, whether it be Jhin or Xerath. We need to have a plan for our parry. The easiest thing to parry is going to be Jin's W because it's delayed and we can use it as a directional stun. So we already know what we want to do for this fight. And when we go in and we push these guys, when we flash in and we go for the ult, these guys run this way. So what happens, because we're afraid of Fizz, because we saw Fizz. Fizz runs this way. Now what does our team do as Fizz runs this way? Our team runs down. Fizz is blocked. Fizz is irrelevant in this entirely because of where our team is. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so if I were to just engage on like Xerath or Jhin even.
Yep.
They would flex down and, you know, kind of like you said, block off Fizz because it'd be a 3v1. So.
Yep. So we're just like understanding the flow of how this fight is going to go, already having it planned out, right? So Flash, we just have to go for it. And then, but we have to have that general idea of what we're going to use our parry for too, right? Like, we know that the easiest thing to parry here is going to be the Jhin W because it's a delayed and it will stun you and you can actually use it as a directional stun. So if we flash in on these guys and they're just going to try to run away this way, they got flash, so they're going to cover a gap this way, right? So they might get away, who knows? But at least we get both of their flashes out. My one flash will be good for their 2 flashes. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, I think that's the thing too, is I don't really think of things that way, I guess.
You know what? A lot of people don't, but the thing is, I think that people overcomplicate League. When you think about it like that, isn't it really simple?
Yeah, like, I think that's the big thing with me too, is I tend to overcomplicate the game. Like, at its core, it's a pretty simple game, but
I mean, it is like League is complex and there are a lot of layers to it, and there's a lot to know, and there's 200 champions that all have different abilities that all do different things, and all these champions have different interactions. I mean, it is a complex game, but you can simplify it in just like just this fight in general is huge to understand that, because we're afraid of Fizz and that's why we hesitated so much, and then we, you know, pay the price when we could be going for a crazy play here and actually trying to turn the game around. Now, obviously, it's hard to talk about this game just because we have an AFK, so it wasn't really winnable ever, but in a normal game, these situations happen all the time, and we just got to understand the flow of how this fight is going to actually go, right?
Okay.
And be aggressive, you know, be aggressive when we're playing Fiora. Understand our power spikes, and that we have Divine right now, and that we could make that play, and it would be completely fine.
Yeah, here I get hit by Zera's stun too, which I should have been able to.
Nah, it wasn't even,
Oh, I just
like,
face tanked it.
yeah. The thing is, though, is that what the real problem is with this one is that you get stunned by Jhin W. So, you get stunned here, which is whatever, but you're literally unstunned, and instead of using Jin's W to stun somebody, you just, like, walk. You could just parry right now, and then he's stunned. This has a delay to it. You know you're going to get stunned because you have the mark on you, right? So if you just parry, then Jhin gets stunned. It doesn't matter if you get stunned by that E. His E is weird. It's kind of like, I get stunned by that all the time. But a Jhin W, that is the freest directional stun ever. He's got to load that thing up. So we watch this in slow-mo. You get stunned. Now you're moving. But we still get hit by the W. When he's just standing in place because he has to stand in place.
Yeah. Yeah.
So really, it's just the parry. I mean, if we get the parry, we just kill them both there. So also, by the way, this is like one of the biggest mistakes that Fiora players do all the time. It's crazy. What is this parry for?
I thought because I know Jhin crits, and Jhin has a high enough crit that when he does crit, he gets a move speed. So I was trying to. I thought he was gonna move down, and I could hit him with a parry for the slow, but he ended up going towards our jungle.
Mm-hmm. So think about
And
think about what parry does when you do a parry like that in this situation, right? You parry. There's nothing coming at you that you can use as a stun. It doesn't even matter if you hit them because you have Q and you can just Q to close the gap, right?
Yeah.
But when you parry, you are stuck in a stationary position for 0.75 seconds. When we have to run these three down, we got to make sure we get all these 3 kills. If there was any more of a gap, these guys would get away just because you spent a whole second in the parry animation for no reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's just no reason to parry here. There's nothing to parry. It doesn't help us at all. I got 3 people I need to kill. Slowing one of them is not going to help me here. You know what I mean? Okay. I need to just... Because you have Q up here instead. I mean, you just close the gap with Q. It doesn't even matter if he hits you with it. So we got Q up this whole time, right? We hit him with a Q, and now we've got Q up again right now, but we parry instead. So we can just close the gap. And by the way, this is a really good indicator of how strong Fiora is. Fiora is broken. Keep that in mind. You just died, like, what, twice in a row? And now you just come in and look how much damage you do to these guys. Which goes to show that a couple of those 1v2 plays would have probably been not that bad. And we probably could have won them. You know what I mean?
I think it's like a lack of confidence, and then yeah, I think just lack of confidence and kind of knowing that our mid laner is gone. And I know it's not like an excuse, even though it kind of is, but knowing that he's gone and we're kind of fighting an uphill battle. I don't know if it's kind of like a subconscious, like, mental thing for me.
Uh-huh.
Where I kind of was like, you know, this is kind of already a lost cause sort of thing. And I kind of, like, subconsciously was like, this isn't going to work out as well as I think it is, so...
So mentally, you have like 2 ways to think about that, right? Because the thing is that League of Legends isn't going anywhere. There's always going to be other games. When you spend 22 minutes, 25 minutes in a game, and you say, well, this doesn't matter anyways, then I just wasted 25 minutes. I could at least practice some mechanics, try to like get used to parrying certain abilities, getting more comfortable on my champion, like decision making in team fights. There's so many things that I can still learn in this automatic losing game that it's still worth it for me to try the entire time. Because if I'm here, like if I'm just already in the game, who am I to just sit here and just be like, well, it's over, I'm done, GG, might as well not try to do anything this game. Then it's just like you wasted 25 minutes when you could at least be improving like fundamentals and mechanics and just trying to improve. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously it's annoying. Like, yeah, of course it's annoying, but this game, League of Legends, is literally like 75% mental. Like, that's really all it is. If you're consistently going into ranked games and you're trying to do your best and you're always trying to learn and trying to improve, then you will. But people get hard stuck because they don't try to get better, because they don't care, because the game is over in 4 minutes, so they don't care. I died in laning phase at level 3, I don't want to play anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a bad take for me, so.
You're fine. This play here, okay. You really want to just ult the first person that is there because you want to position yourself. So like imagine, and we don't ever want to queue without being able to hit something because it makes the queue cooldown longer. But now imagine if you didn't queue and you were able to like parry or ult any of these guys, right? So the ideal thing to do would literally be to ult them, get the movement speed, and just queue right past them. And use that movement speed to keep going, right? Because if we had Q right now, we just pick this up easily. But the thing is that why would we even... Here's the thing. These guys can't go anywhere. They're stuck in the base. Why would we turn around for the Graves? Wouldn't we just finish this guy so we can take one source of damage out of this fight? Wouldn't we just keep going down because our Q's about to come back up, finish this guy, and then come back around? They're not going anywhere. They're stuck right here.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you're saying there.
But when we turn around, we don't finish this guy, so he gets to keep dealing damage. But if we would have turned around and just killed him...
Yeah, that wouldn't have happened right there.
Uh-huh. Any kill that you can get is what you want to go for. We don't care about the Graves turning back around. Like, let him turn back around. That's fine. I want to get this guy out of the fight. I know that Graves can E over the wall, so he's probably my next target. These guys are stuck in the base, so I'm not really too worried about him. I'll get Zeroth when I can. Like, but any damage source that you can take away from the enemy, that's #1 priority, so that they can't deal any more damage in the fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then game's kind of over. Now, obviously, very unfortunate, but there was a lot that we were able to talk about there. And I think the biggest thing... So, obviously, I'm going to like set up some homework for you, but I do want to show you just how you personally can use the practice tool to your advantage to actually like get better. But hold on, I'm going to grab my vape real quick, and then I'll... Literally 2 seconds, it's just charging. So, understanding like the mechanics, the basics of the champion, basically, and just like getting more familiar. I'm not going to sit here and tell you to sit in a practice tool for like hours and hours, right? I'm just not going to do that. But something that's super important is just like using the practice tool for like 15-20 minutes before your ranked grind. You know what I mean? 15 minutes, get myself warmed up, get more familiar, like understanding a few concepts here. So I'm still streaming, right?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe putting in a little bit of time with the whip active so that you can, you know, get more familiar. I mean, if you wanted to, you could perma avoid ever using whip if you wanted to. Like, you don't have to. It is a more fun way to play, but if I'm being completely honest, probably the easiest way to play Fiora is still Divine. But literally just sitting here, putting up some target dummies and just getting used to a few concepts here, right? So get rid of these minions. Obviously, you've got dancing on enemies, which is just understanding that we have top right vitals and then left bottom. So if I hit right, it's got to go to either bottom or left. So I'm always playing in this like diagonal sense where I'm going back and forth, and I'm always like postured for the next vital, right? So getting used to that. The other concept is going to be bouncing. So in team fights, trying to maximize damage by looking at all the vitals and being able to hit as many as you can during a fight. So it's like I would like kind of just run around and hit all the vitals, right? As fast as you can. Just doing that is really nice. And then really getting used to slide pairing as well, because slide pairing is a more of an advanced mechanic, but it doesn't really have to be. I mean, there's so many ways to do it. Like if this guy's got like this back-facing vital and he wants to run this way, really strong play is just to, oh, I didn't even, wow. Just to parry backwards. And then if this guy has to run past me, right? Then I can do that. Getting used to slide parrying in different directions is great because it's going to set you up for directional stuns. There's a Jinx trap right here. I want to get that Jinx trap, stun the enemy, Vygar cage, whatever it may be.
That was a question I was going to ask too. So in an instance like a Vygar cage, if I slide parry through it, it doesn't stun me and will instead redirect that?
Yeah, you just go right through it. So it's like, I think I could probably use the dragon to show that he just won't move me, basically.
Okay.
Like, and
I wasn't... Sorry.
No, go ahead.
So I wasn't sure, like how the game was gonna read those inputs. If it was gonna read like the directional input and like, you know, put that one over the top of the parry input. If that makes sense.
You'll still no. You'll move through. So like imagine this guy is a champion. He's gonna stun me right now, and I would like I can move and like stun, right?
Okay.
See?
Yeah, I get what you're saying now. Like, so I wasn't 100% sure of that, like, because I know some games, if you like the inputs kind of have like a layering system to it. So I wasn't 100% sure if it was gonna like I said, if parry like superseded whatever the dash from the.
If you parry, you're just completely untargetable. So like if he was the Vygar cage, I'm still gonna end wherever the Q goes. So if I just slide through, I'm gonna end right here and not on the cage.
Okay.
Yep.
That makes sense then. That gives me a little bit more freedom to do things, I think.
Yeah, it does for sure. And then like getting used to ulting, like because you always want to go clockwise or counterclockwise. You never want to try to split vitals. Like the worst thing that you could do is obviously do like this. And then what do I do with this, right? So like ideally if I'm like in top lane here, we'll just say that whatever, I ult the enemy when he's right here and he wants to get back to this tower. Obviously I want to go counterclockwise and not clockwise. The easiest to defend vitals are going to be these ones, right? So I want to get these and then come back around and finish it, because these are the ones that are going to be the two easiest to hit, these two here. So I realistically would be like this, but since he has a wall right here, we want to get the bottom one as well. But imagine that this guy's running away from me back to his tower and this is the last vital. I mean, that's pretty easy to hit, right?
Yeah.
So you always want to get the easiest to defend ones first. But I think it's going to be just more about like understanding the mechanics and doing a little bit of limit testing and knowing how strong you are. You know what I mean? And then obviously whip active is just so great because it just allows for like so much fluidity, like where I can just hit all the vitals really quickly, very easily. You know, I don't have to really think too much about it. And like stride breaker is really nice because you continue moving. Like I can walk around and do it. You know what I mean? And it doesn't stop my movement or anything. So, but this could be, I mean, this is another thing that you can get used to. Like, get used to whatever button you're going to use for it. And then, like, notice how OP it is that I can actually proc, like, double vitals, too, with this. So it's like, in team fights, you can kind of, like, set yourself up to be like, ooh, you know, these two guys right here, I want to kill this guy below me, but I want to double vital first, and then focus on this guy that's below. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. So, like, not not necessarily like inting, but just going for bolder plays, I guess is what you're saying as well.
Yeah, just maximizing all the damage you can get out of the kit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I can just like walk through this, but then I can get away from this guy from doing damage to me, but I just hit his vital though. And then use the movement speed to posture myself down here to go for some plays. Because also we know that we hit the top vital, so it's going to be on one of these sides anyway, so if we posture down, we're all right. So it's like little things, but like once you get used to it, like it makes sense. And you know, after having this session and us talking about it, I think it might make a lot more sense once you get into a game. Now, obviously, I would say, you know, lock screen, big no-no. I know it's really hard to get away from it, but the thing is that it just makes it... Some champions are like ADCs and stuff like that. Lock screen's pretty good when you're fighting, but I just don't think that I would be comfortable fighting with lock screen. You know what I mean? Because you don't move it. Like once I start the fight, I'm always like ready. I'm positioning camera, like whatever. And then wherever I think the fight's gonna go, I just leave it there because I don't want to worry about that too much. And that's what spacebar is for too. Spacebar recenters you, right?
Yeah.
So if I get a little bit too out of place and I'm like up here, just like reset. But just spend like 15 minutes doing this before you play, you know? And it's a good warm up anyways. And it will just be beneficial in the long run because a lot of the times, like one of the things I talk about a lot is like doing like the fast 4. Like how often do you even get to do it? I need to record a video, by the way. I need to record a video and like my hands are off. I'm kind of off right now. That was a bad... What the f... Oh no, I'm gonna have a bad video. That's irrelevant though. But how many times do you even get to actually fast forward in an actual game? Like being able to practice it and knowing how to do it is like super important. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. Like just in case you do have the opportunity
Yep.
to do it, you know, it's kind of on the flashier side, but
Yeah, typically it's kind of useless to be honest. Typically
it looks good though.
Yeah, true. So I think I'm going to type up some notes, essentially like basically a little bit of homework that I would like to see you work on. And then I usually like to check back in with clients like a week after and see how they're feeling. And like also if you have any questions during that time frame, you can feel free to ask them as well. But I am going to go quiet for a second because I'm going to start typing up some homework, okay? I'm going to turn up the music a bit. But if you think of any questions, give me like 5 minutes and then I'll be right back. So just muting for a second and doing this. So 1 second. All right. Did you get the message?
Let me double check. I think yes, I did.
All right. So that's everything right there that I think that would be the most beneficial to immediately work on. So, do you have any questions for me?
Not currently. I'm sure as I go through some of this stuff, I will have questions. So I'll experiment with quick cast and the
Yeah, this is like a lot of basics. So this is kind of set up in a way that allows you to improve, but it also allows you to, like, a month or two down the road to be like, okay, I want more. Like, I want to take the next step. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I think that the 2 games we played, I mean, they sucked. I'm sorry about that. I think that we got to go over a lot of stuff. And I think this is like the very beginning and early stages of our Fiora journey. So a lot to do, a lot to work on, but very exciting as well. This is a champion that's very rewarding and a champion that when you start improving, you notice it very quickly and it makes the game a lot more fun. So if you do have any questions, just shoot me a DM and I will get back to you, okay?
Sounds good to me. I appreciate your time today.
Of course.
And then, yeah, if I, start getting better with this, then I'll probably hit you up for like another session to go over some of the more advanced things.
Hell yeah, man. I'm excited to see your climb. I am going to, this is going to be weird. I need to answer this phone call because I've been waiting on insurance. Let me see if this is an insurance phone call real quick. Give me 1 second. All right, never mind. I do need to call them. I've been waiting on this for like 3 weeks. Anyways, yeah. I will let you go. But good session, my friend, and I wish you the best on your climb, all right?
Thank you again. I appreciate it.
All righty. You have a good day, brother.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. I have to get out of here. Stream. But hold on, I want to see something real quick. What the heck? Wait, where is... All right. I gotta get out of here. I'm gonna go take a shower and then I gotta try to record a video for YouTube. And then we'll have a stream on Twitch. So if you guys want to catch me live, we'll probably do like a 9 or 10 hour stream on Twitch tonight. We're sitting at Master 120 LP and I want to go for a new peak, which would be, I want to hit 300 LP. So that's the goal for this week. So if you guys want to catch me on Twitch, it's the same as over here. It's just Brennan Wolf, twitch.tv/Brennan Wolf. So I will see you guys there if you're there. Thanks for everybody who was hanging out today. I'll see you guys soon. We have another coaching session that's going to be streamed on Wednesday, so you can be ready for that. Should be a video dropping today as well on YouTube. And then we should have another video coming out on Wednesday too. So I will see you guys on Twitch in a few hours if you are there. If not, and you only watch on YouTube, I'll see you on Wednesday. So I appreciate you guys. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace out. Love ya. And bye-bye. See you guys soon. See ya, Joaquin.